Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is part 20 of my One Piece overview series. So we've come a long way from like 2 months ago now, almost. Um, but yeah, this is part 20 of my One Piece overview series. I'm going to be going over the second half of Whole Cake Island in this video. Um, I'm very excited because I get to talk about Luffy's fight against Katakuri. Is one of my favorite fights in the arc. But yeah, this video, I don't say this very often, but this video might be kind of short. There's only maybe 3-4 things that I want to talk about in this video, and then I'll be done with Whole Cake Island, and then it's off to Wano. I'm very excited. I'm probably gonna slow down a lot during Wano. Counting volume 105, there's actually 16 volumes. So I'll probably do like 3 volumes per episode. And then the last one will have like 4. But yeah, it's gonna be maybe another week until this series is finished. But yeah, let's get into the video as always. But first, question of the day. I haven't thought of one just yet. Let's see. Who is your favorite of Big Mom's children? So I'll go ahead and grab, I think it's 83. Yes. Well, out of these, pretty much, counting a couple others, Katakuri. I mean, come on. How can it not be him? He was actually pissing me off a little bit when he was fighting Luffy because he was just kind of taking his moves. But we'll talk about that in this video. He's definitely one of my favorites in the whole series. So yeah, who's your favorite? Well, basically Whole Cake Island villain. Katakuri. Could be Big Mom. Tamago. Who knows? But let's get on to the volume covers as always. There's volume 86. Volume 87. Oh, and then I think these are the Sweet Generals, actually. So this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, that guy. I don't care enough to remember their names. There's volume 88. This one actually looks pretty cool. And I'll say one thing, I don't really care much about Carrot, to be honest. I feel like she's kind of annoying. And I'm actually glad that she didn't join the crew because, and I'll talk about that during Wano. I'll just say it now. I'm glad Yamato didn't join the crew because she brought absolutely nothing. Some people say she could have been like the logbook keeper or whatever. Like she writes down the stories for the Straw Hat. I don't know, but each Straw Hat has like an actual purpose in the crew. Something that helps out. That doesn't help out at all. Otherwise, aside from that, I'm actually glad she didn't join the crew. There's 89. This one's actually pretty cool. I hadn't seen this volume color. This is my first time seeing most of these, actually. Because the volumes are just sitting there on my shelf. Yeah, and then there's volume 90. But yeah, I'm actually glad that Yamato didn't join the crew. Wano, I'll get to it later, but it's a very bloated arc. It's close to Dressrosa in terms of bloated. But yeah, Yamato, she was just stuck in there probably to have a connection to Luffy because she had a connection to Ace. But she didn't really do much, honestly. You could have replaced her with any character and it would have been the same. The only interesting thing about her was that She was the daughter of Kaido, or the son of Kaido, if you want to say that. Um, but yeah, she really didn't bring anything to the story. She was kind of like a filler character, to be honest. She was cool, I guess. Her devil fruit was interesting, but that was about it. I'm glad she didn't join the crew. I'm more. I'm always gonna be a Vivi supporter. I'm always gonna want her to join the crew officially. But it's probably gonna be Bonnie. Let's be honest. But yeah, enough of me yapping. Let's get to volume 86. Yeah. There's not a lot of stuff I want to talk about, like I said. So this tea party that there is one thing that I want to talk about here. I'll get to that. Big Mom's backstory. But whatchamacallit, what was I gonna say? Dang it, I forgot. But oh yeah, this was all like a plan that she was gonna kill Germa 66 just to get their military, which didn't work because of Sanji's interaction with Pudding back there. Was that full body hockey? Oh, it's that genie guy. That devil fruit is also another weird one. Really interesting, but super wacky. Oh, and then I think there's Katakuri's, not his introduction, but you know, there he is. I might have skipped over that. But yeah, I think this is the Big Mom's backstory, which is kind of horrifying, if I'm gonna be honest. So Big Mom's parents, they drop her off at this island because they pretty much can't handle her, you know. She goes beyond hangry, and here you can see that she has the power to level a whole town by herself just because of hunger alone. And you saw her whatchamacallit, bring down that giant. And I remember watching this for the first time. I saw that Mother Caramel was using the soul fruit. So I was like, okay. Well, it's obvious that she dies, right? Because how else could Big Mom have the devil fruit? And the anime did this a little differently, but it's heavily implied here, actually. Not sort of implied, heavily implied, that Big Mom went into like an eating frenzy and ate her friends and Mother Caramel. This was news to me. I remember I was watching like a One Piece theory video or something, and the guy like doing the video, like narrating, just dropped this, and I was like, "Excuse me." This is horrifying, especially for One Piece. I know it was established all the way back in Fishman Island that Big Mom was a cannibal, but I completely forgot about that. And they didn't really specify what happened to the kids in Mother Caramel. But yeah, she ate them. That's what happened to them. That's terrifying, man. Oh my god. That's horrifying, especially for One Piece, which has a lot of different themes and stuff, and can be horrifying at some points. But I think this is the pinnacle of horror in this series. So that explains how Big Mom has the devil fruit. She technically ate it by eating the user. I guess that's one way how devil fruits can work in this series. But that was really crazy. To get my head wrapped around that. I still don't have it wrapped around my head. It's crazy how they allowed that in in a comic book like this. Because it's shown in the main demographic is gonna be young kids from like 10 to 14 around there, teenagers pretty much, and people like me. I'm gonna be like a full-fledged adult soon, and I'm still wrapped up in these stories. But yeah, Big Mom goes into a frenzy because of Mother Caramel's portrait, yada yada yada. There's not much I want to talk about here. One thing that I noticed was kind of interesting is that Big Mom doesn't exactly fight in this arc, or she's not really the main villain. I feel like the main villain is probably Katakuri. In terms of Luffy's perspective. Oh, and then Pedro's death. That was kind of sad, but I wasn't really attached to him. But then there was that flashback, which kind of made me tear up a little bit. But that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, and then Luffy traps himself in that mirror dimension. This scene was so hard, man. Where he smashes the way back. That was crazy. So yeah, that kicks off the skirmish between Luffy and Katakuri. And it explains it a lot better. But Katakuri has what this world calls advanced observation haki. So there's advanced versions of each type of haki. There's advanced conquerors, advanced armament, and advanced observation. So advanced observation haki is basically future sight. It's future vision. Katakuri has future vision, and it works well with the kind of devil fruit that he has. It's a paramecia type devil fruit, the mochi mochi no mi. So it makes his body, or he can control and turn his body into mochi. But it's classified as a paramecia. It's not a logia. But with his future vision, it might as well be a logia, which is it's insanely overpowered. But yeah, it's practically Luffy's devil fruit, just way better. But just in terms of raw strength, or in terms of this fight, raw speed, right? Luffy wins. So we're off to 88. I really want to talk about, or I think I just want to see it in the manga, because Luffy versus Katakuri was one of the best fights in the series, for sure. So you can see that Luffy's trying his best against Katakuri, but Katakuri keeps one-upping him with his devil fruit, right? Like I said, right now, Katakuri's devil fruit is in every way better than in Katakuri, or his devil fruit is better than Luffy. So here you can see him using an elephant gun, or no, right here, where he's eating donuts. Like he's insecure about his mouth or something. Some people say that he's part fish man, which would make sense, but they never really officially confirm that. A gulp eel fishman or something like that, which would explain how he has like such a big jaw to eat those giant donuts. And another interesting thing about Katakuri is this is the second instance that we've seen of an awakened devil fruit. So the first instance of that was Doflamingo, where he could control strings, and with his awakening, he could control the environment and turn them into strings and stuff. With Katakuri, he can turn the environment into mochi with his awakening. So that was really cool to see another awakening in this series. So yeah, Sanji baking the cake kind of dragged on a little bit. Not very interesting. Also, Carrot turning into like a werewolf or something. Not very interesting either. I was honestly really focused on Luffy's fight against Katakuri because it had me on the edge of my seat, to be honest. Like everything in the anime, it is kind of dragged on. But that just means more One Piece to watch. It had me busy for a long while. So yeah, 6 months at least I think it took me to finish. But yeah, that was 88. Not much to talk about there. And then on to 89. I'm really excited. This coloring is really great. Oda is really good at what he does. This is like excuse me. This is like the first time where Big Mom is kind of horrifying. She looks really scary while she's skinny. And then Luffy and Katakuri keep fighting. And in most of his fights, Luffy does learn some things, and here he learns how to use observation haki, or advanced observation haki. And he uses that in conjunction with Snake Man to defeat Katakuri. So the transformation should be here, I think. Oh, and then here's this little girl. I forgot her name. Oh, here it is, where Luffy uses observation haki. And then he snaps at his little sister. And I really like this respect that Katakuri is starting to have for Luffy. So Luffy, like he was hit by some paralyzing needle by her. I forget her name. And it let Katakuri land a hit on him. So to make it fair, Katakuri decided to injure himself with his trident. And I really like this scene. I no longer assume that you are inferior to me. And then Luffy, that's great, thanks, but I'm still going to win. That's so funny, but that's a good set of dialogue. I like that a lot. So Luffy's getting the hang of advanced observation. And I think by the time he transforms into Snake Man, he gets it completely. So at the point in the anime here, Gear 4 Snake Man was probably one of the best animated sequences in the entire series. It was really well made. It was a really well made fight. It's super iconic. Because I even heard about this fight all the way back, even before I got into anime. I think Whole Cake Island was on air during 2017, I believe. So this might have been around the time that the episodes were coming out. I was in 8th grade at the time, and I heard about the episode that that Snake Man showed up. So yeah, super iconic fight. Just a really good fight in general, to be honest. So instead of relying on raw strength, so Gear Third relied on size, right? Gear Fourth relied on power, and Gear Fourth Snake Man, which is an application to Gear Fourth, Luffy relies on speed. So that was really cool. I don't think there's much more for me to talk about here. So Luffy defeats Katakuri. Really good fight. And then I'm not exactly sure myself what it means, but Katakuri asks Luffy if he's gonna come back to defeat Big Mom, and Luffy says, of course. I think he wants Luffy to defeat Big Mom. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. I'll try to do some research on it and see what some people think. But yeah, that was 89. One of the best fights in this series. And then going on to 90, this one is labeled officially as Wano, but most of it is Whole Cake Island and the Reverie. And then the last couple pages are Wano. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about this part here where Jinbei has to help his old crew, right? And Luffy reminds Jinbei that he's his captain now. And tells him that he better get to Wano. Which he does, obviously. I feel like Jinbei is definitely a man of his word. I like this scene a lot. There's Zeph and Sanji. So here, I'm not a big fan of the Reverie, to be honest. There wasn't a lot going on. I think Charlos gets punched in the face again, which was my highlight of this arc. Oh, I say nothing happens, but then the main villain of the series is revealed right here. Emu. This had probably belonged to Joy Boy. I'm not exactly sure. This was really... It's mysterious, you know? Even right now, there's a lot of things that haven't been revealed. But at the time that I'm recording this, I think One Piece... at the time that this is uploaded, I think One Piece 1110 has already been up. And yeah, that reveals a lot of interesting stuff. I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, Egghead just keeps getting better and better, man. The next one will be even better. So yeah, that was the introduction to Emu. And that had probably, most likely, definitely belonged to Joy Boy. And then Shanks here. This definitely reveals the fact that Shanks is or was a celestial dragon, because he's able to gain an audience with the Gorosei. And he snitches on some people, or people for a long time have heard that Shanks was snitching on Luffy, but I think he was telling the Gorosei about Blackbeard. I think that's what he was there to talk to them about. So yeah, lots of interesting things, actually. I said that the Reverie, there wasn't a lot of stuff happening, but there is a lot of stuff happening. And then Emu proclaims himself as the king of the world. For sure, definitely the end game villain. Who knows who Emu actually is? Yeah, then we cut back to the rest of the crew over in Wano. They're all in disguise, blending in with the civilians and stuff. And then they're off to Wano. This was so cool, man. Complete change of atmosphere, honestly. More so than any of the other arcs in the series. So I'm very excited to talk about Wano. There's some other stuff that I want to talk about, but I'll get to that in the next video. Tomorrow I'll probably, hopefully, get my Final Fantasy VII poster, so I can show that to you guys. But yeah, question of the day: who is your favorite Whole Cake Island villain? Mine is Katakuri. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same for most people. But, you know, to each their own. It could be the candy guy. Pero, I think that's his name. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time where I finally get to Wano. Very excited. But yeah, that's all I've got for this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.